I'm back after a couple of weeks being off. I hope you all are ready for this one. My name is Kathy with the JLB channel, Journal Through Life from Beginning. I'm embarking on a brand new. So I hope you all come along. I've been going over the history basically from me and Tim back, did a little journaling. I've done a little journaling YouTube watching, so I know a little bit more about that. So we will be working on that again. I'm stuck because I have to find a picture of Grandma and Grandpa Tony. And so far that has eluded me. I will find it and I will go back to the journal, but I have to have their pages in before I can go back any further. So what I did in the meantime is I have worked on putting my genealogy that I have on Family Tree Maker into a workbook of types. This is my work in progress for, I plan on doing a book. I went on this morning on Microsoft and I asked the nice little AI person, whoever it is, Google Assistant, whoever that is in Microsoft, Copilot, whatever. Could they make me a book outline for chasing down events, American events, that coincided with family history? And they did an excellent job. So, although I don't know what AI is going to do in the future, we could be doing a person of interest in the future. We could be doing a Terminator in the future. But right now we're living in the here and now, and neither has happened. So AI is in the process of being helpful. I don't know what it's going to do later. We'll take that when it comes. We're resilient. We're Americans. Lay down, Sam. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this outline that they so nicely put up with. It's got an introduction, the roots in the world. That just tells me where our family place is at in the American society. It's going back 10 generations from my great-grandson. So it's actually 7 generations back from me, which is still a remarkable amount of time. I think it goes back into the 1700s, and I can go back a lot farther than that, but I had to cut it off somewhere. So if this works, and if I get this done, then I can do the next 10 generations back. But this is my thought process. So it says our arrival, were we already here in the Americas during those 10 generations? Had everybody arrived? Where did their family come from? Then we're settling the land. Where did they settle at? Where did they first come to when they came to America? What were they talking about around the dinner table? Had they already been here? Some of them at this point would already been here for close to 150 years. So that's pretty cool. So they already had settled. They had already been in the United States as it come from the 13 colonies on into the bigger part, into the 1800s, when West Virginia became an official state. So, and then we do their part 2. There'll be a lot involved in here. And then part 2 is the nation in conflict. So we do the Revolutionary War. And then we do the Civil War, the time frame in there. And then the Reconstruction. And then we come into the 20th century, which is where I was born at, in the 20th century. And then you come on up to the 21st century. And here we are, and we do all of our stuff. And then in the appendix, we'll put our genealogy charts and family trees. And a timeline for the American history events that I reference in the thing, and where I get my information at. And then put the resources that I use for researching the family and American history. That way, if you want to go and look at the book and you want to say you want to look up your family, you can use my resources because they'll be baseline resources. Just put your family's name in, your family history, your family ancestor, and see where it comes from. Everybody will have basically the same type of American history, but not personalized to your Pacific family. So that's where I'm working from. That was the outline that they give me this morning on, I think it's Copilot something. So what I have done, I won't show you this first 4 generations because that's us. And I don't want to give out any information about anybody that's still living. But just be aware to know that the first generation, that when I talk about Gen 1, the first generation is me and Timmy. That's first. And then we have the +1 generation is my kids. I had 4 daughters, so it's my kids. +2 is their kids, and +3 is the great-grandkids. So therefore, everybody will have a place in here so that no matter which one is coming looking at any point in time, they'll be able to go into their generation and find out information. Now, you say, why didn't you start with Gen 1 with the great-grandson? Because he's the great-grandson. Eventually, in his lifetime, he could give me a +4 generation or a +5 generation. Not my lifetime, but in his. So therefore, whoever takes this on after I'm no longer here can then just add the +4, +5 generations and put in their information instead of have to rewrite the whole thing, because now Gen 1 will be 2 more generations forward. You just have to learn Gen 1 starts with me and Timmy. That's us. I can show you. Yeah. Gen 1 starts with me and Timmy. And the information on this one doesn't go because these 2 are still living. These 2 have passed away. So, but I was able to get pictures of all of them, put them in there. I still need to get pictures of me and Timmy and put in here. We'll get that done. Okay, then you go back to Gen 2. That is our parents. So if you see these colors, this represents red because I couldn't find a red highlighter, and orange. So in my stuff, Kincaids will always be represented by the red, and the Bryants will always be represented by the orange. Okay, and down here is the Tony side of the family because I have 8 sides that I'm researching back. If you fall into those categories, you're going to fall into one of those 8s that come down through the generations, down to these 4 generations, and then down to us. On Mom's side, you have the light blue, which is this color, representing the Tonys, and the purple representing the holidays. So anytime you see these colors on pages, you know that those come down through. So see, when I bring this down, the Kincaid, to these guys, we're bringing down the Kincaids and the Tonys. But if you look back, you'll see the Tonys and the holidays go back farther. Because when she married him, she became the Kincaid. So when the holiday married the Tony, she became the holiday. So we just brought down the Kincaid and the Tony side. But you'll know which generation you're kin to. This is mine. This is Dad and Mom. The Johnson side is represented by green. The Wilson side is represented by yellow. The Hankins is a dark blue, and pink is the McCutcheons. So then you go down through here, and there we go. I don't have Jeannie Dawn's because Jeannie Dawn is my stepsister, not my full sister. So I'm not sure what her other side is. Okay, and these are all my stepsisters and brothers as well. So then we go back to Generation 3, JLB Generation 3, and we now have the Kincaids and the Bryants. And because his mother was a Bryant, and her father was a Bryant, well, these 2 were actually brother and sister. So she doesn't have another part. She just goes back to the Bryants. Where he comes to the Kincaids and Bryants, she is just the Bryants. because when we go back, the Bryant and the Sylvie will still all be going back in the Bryant line, because I'm only doing the 8 generations. I hope you all understand it. The 8 different family names, just 8. So if you go through and there's an orange, you come down from the Bryant side, whichever side, because I'm going backwards, whichever side connects directly back to her, or through his mother come directly back to him, it's going to be on the orange side. That's the direct line down. The red is the direct line down for the Kincaid side. And then, of course, they go down like this. And Dad had stepbrothers and sisters, or half-brothers and sisters. So they only have the Kincaid side going down, because I don't have my generational stuff does not go back on the Settle side, which is who he married a second time, which was Otheni Settle. I didn't take that line back because that's not a direct line from me or from Timmy. That's a second wife to James Kincaid. Now, that doesn't mean in the future that I may go back and fill in her line. I just don't have the time or the resources at this point to keep adding in separate generations as they go back. The 8 is what I settled on for the book. The 8 is what I'm going to do. Okay, so now we go on. This is the Tony side. This is Mom Kincaid's side. We have dark blue or light blue for the Tonys, purple for the Holidays. And see, all these come down. There's a story about Charlie and why he does not have the blue. I'll get into that in the book. I'm not going to get into that online. Okay, and see, some of them I have pictures. That's a picture of Aunt Evelyn. Here is my dad's side of the family, which is the Johnson and the Wilson. So Johnson is represented by green. Wilson is represented by yellow. So all of these have the green and yellow. And then this is the Hankins side, which is the dark blue and the pink. So all this represents that they come down through the Johnsons, or through the Hankins and McCutcheon side. She has Chris, which I have. I don't currently have it in the book. Okay, I have to put her parents in, but she's still going to be a McCutcheon. All this is going to line up in the McCutcheon side. Even though she married a Chris, I'll take her family back, but he will be listed in the McCutcheon side, direct in correlation with me. Now, later on, like I said, when I go backwards and do other generations, I may bring in a different set. I don't know, but these are the 8 colors that I'm working with. It's hard to find those 8 colors. I don't want to go any farther. I may just put a line on their paper that says they're an ancestor of Lottie McCutcheon. So that when you're going through and you're looking at XYZ, you can know from the first, second, and third generation of us who they come down through. Because Effie Bell Chris, her dad's name was Jacob Chris, but the thing with it is, if you just seen Jacob Chris, you would know that relates to the Effie Bell Chris who married the McCutcheon, unless I put it on that piece of paper, which I will somewhere make just a little sticker that I can put a information sheet, like maybe, let's see, right here on this page right here, I may be able to put a little information tag here that says, not with these generations, but with the next set I do, that this is like maybe the second or third generation back from Lottie McCutcheon. So that you can go back to Lottie McCutcheon. I'll have a reference guide in the front of it that says what pages all McCutcheons are listed on, what pages all Hankins are listed on. But I will have to color code them so that I can keep them in my mind. Anybody that does genealogy knows that you have so many dates and so many names and so many other stuff that you have to have an organized system in order to be able to find what you're looking for quickly. There's no way anybody's going to know until I put it in the book, and that's all they're going to be interested in anyway. This right here, nobody's going to be interested in this one, so I'm interested in it. And for right now, that's me. But the book that I write, or hopefully write, this book that I write may be of interest to anybody, not just because it has my family genealogy in it, but because it also ties that family genealogy in with America as they grew stronger and stronger and stronger in the world. Things that they talked about around their dinner table, things that they were excited about, a new birth, things they were sad about, so they lost somebody in the family. Things that they're terrified where they had to send their kids off to World War I or World War II, or even had to fight in the Revolutionary War and the Civil War, not knowing what your country was going to be like after all that was done. So those are things that I want to try to bring forth in a book to make it interesting to everybody. It'll have factual stuff in it about the family from the second generation backwards. And then just ties into us and our children and grandchildren going forward. But not their specific information. That way we don't have to worry about anybody grabbing their information and running with it. The ones that are past, their information's already locked and solid anyway. But that's my idea. And I'm hoping if you have any comments or any ways I can go forward with it, or any suggestions about how to find information, both family information and historical information, that you'll send it to me in a comment in the section, or you'll send it to me through Kincaid Special Creations at gmail.com, because that's the one I look at the most. Or you can, I don't know how else to get to me. It's either a comment in the section on the page, or email me, or you can direct message me on Facebook at Kincaid Special Creations. Alright, so this is now all the generations that is in this book. Everybody is done. This right here was, I printed this off of Ancestry.com. This was Grandpa's registration card, Granddad's registration card for the service. I think. Let me see. Want to make sure. I want to tell you a story. Yep, I'm pretty sure that was for the service. Alright, so now we can go into the second book. Which is this one. Which now brings you into the 7th generation, which is Gen 4. It's 3 generations back from me. I'm the 1st generation, so it would be the 3rd generation. That makes this my great-grandparents. These are the color-coded sections that are in here. I also went and purchased cards, or no, not on this one. I don't have them in this one yet. Yeah, I got them in the next section, but not in this one. In the 8th section, I have it. I have to buy some more of these dividers so that I can find things easy. This, orange, Bryant's. This is the Bryant family. So see where this one is still a Bryant. Her family will go back in orange because that brings it down to the Bryant generation. This is the Kincaid generation. This one is the Hankins. I've got them all mixed up here. You'll see when I go back a little farther. I have to get them switched up. This one is the McCutcheons. I'm not going to go into detail of who they are, but this is information that I have in my family tree about who goes with whom and how they got to me and Timmy. This is his death certificate that I found at the West Virginia Vital Records Department down there. This is all of his information, what he passed away of, how old he was. Or this is actually her information. This is Nellie Bennett's. Nellie Bell Tony. She was a Bennett before she got married. And so it gives you there her parents, what she did. She was a housewife, when she passed away, and why. Which in this generation of degenerative diseases, it's probably a pretty good thing to have. This is the Holiday side. This is the Johnson side. And I can tell immediately, even though the name's on there, because I do have the color coding. This is Grandma Missouri's death certificate, also from the Vital Records Department down there. Said she was a housewife, says who her parents are, says what she died of. This is the Wilson side. This is my daddy's granddaddy. On the Wilson side, this is my grandma, my daddy's mom. And then I have all the notes that come into where I found some of the records at. Now we're going into the 8th. This makes it a little bit easier, so I want to get some more of these. The Holiday side, of course, is purple. So all these is following in here would go down to the Holiday side. Here is the Tonys and the Bryants. I don't have any of the Bryants. Yeah, I do. I have John Thomas in there. I figured it up. But you'll notice that William Bryant and Elizabeth Bryant are both on the same page. Okay. This is the Kincaid side and the Wilson. These are color coded, so they match the color coding that I have on this side. If you simply want to go back through and find all the Wilsons that you're kin to and how they come down, you simply go to the yellow page, and then you'll find all the information that I have, because Grandma was a Pridemore before she married Granddaddy Wilson. So therefore, she comes down to the Wilson side. The Johnsons. Let's see. The McCutcheons. The Hankins. And see, this one comes in, but it says Burns, but because that was Granddaddy Hankins' granddaddy at some point, or Grandma Hankins' dad at some point, it also comes down to the Hankins side. And then we have John Hankins, which was Granddaddy's granddaddy. Yeah. It gets a little bit interesting as you're going. This is the 9th generation, same thing. Holidays, Tonys, Bryants, Kincaid, Wilson, Johnson, McCutcheon, and Hankins. And they just all go down through. Anybody that you want to look, or I want to look for. Say I'm looking up information about the McCutcheons. All I have to do is go to this line right here, and I'll find all the information about the McCutcheons and their respective in-laws. So it's just like this. James Sarver will go back in the next generation under the McCutcheons because it comes down farther. And then the Hankins. I have to do it that way because, as I said before, when you have one person, you have one set of family. Okay, I say me. I had 2 parents. That means I have 4 grandparents. That means I have, 16 great-grandparents, and then 30, no, I don't know. Anyway, it ends up being an exorbitant amount by the time you get back to the 10th generation of how many different families that there are. So you have to have some way of tying them all in and bringing them back. So anybody that's in this Hankins side, whether it's James Burns or Moses Hankins, you know that somewhere, and I tried to remember to highlight the particular one that you can look in the next generation down for John Hankins, and then you can chase him down. And each one of them, like this is John Winter. It's supposed to be John Winter Booth, but okay. So when you go down through here, you will find Eliza Booth. That one goes down. You have just the ones that are highlighted is the only ones I have any other page on. So here's James Burns. So we've got Christopher Burns. He goes down. So you just keep working with it and working with it, and it all just keeps going down. And these are just note records of certain people that I've kept that I might have to use some of this information on at a later date. And the last book that I have done in the generational bit has nothing in it. This is the difference. The first one had what? This first one had 6 generations in it. 6 different things. I was able to put 6 different generations in the first one. In this one, I could only do 7, 8, and 9. That's all I could do down through here. That was all of it. Wait a minute. 4, 5, and 6, because it's number 7. 4, 5, and 6 generations. So in this one, I am able to do the 7th, 8th, and 9th generations. So now I have to figure out, that's not right. Okay, let's see, 7, 8, 9. Yep, that's all it is, just 7, 8, 9 in here. 7, 8, 9. 10, 11, 12, yeah, okay. So the other 3 generations are in here, but I've only went back to the 7th generation. But 2, it is purple for the holidays, blue for the Tonys, orange for the Bryants, red for the Kincaids, yellow for the Wilsons, green for the Johnsons, pink for the McCutcheons, and dark blue for the Hankins. And now, I still have to do this generation and this generation to be able to do my book, but I think maybe not. No, I'm just going to the 10th generation. So this number, because I'm doing 1, 2, from, yeah, to the 7th generation back from me. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. So that's all I'm doing, just this far. Just up to the number 10. And then later on, I'll be able to bring in Gen 8 and Gen 9. So that is the preparation books. Getting me ready to know who will now fit into the family origins, where they migrated from, where they were living at, where they established their roots, where their home were homesteading at the time. Were they farmers? Did they live in a city, wherever they were at? Then you can, from there, I think you'll have to go back another 3 or 4 generations before you get to who was here during the American Revolution, but I can do that. They were here during the Civil War time, which was a Northern sympathizer, which was a Southern sympathizer, because if anybody knows anything about West Virginia, we're one of the only states that became a state during the Civil War itself. June the 20th, 1963 or something. But anyway, we were the only one that became a state then. So therefore, we had brothers, literally brothers fighting against brothers, because in West Virginia, one part of us were Southern sympathizers and the other side was Northern sympathizers. So we are always been in a battle of which way is right. Instead of letting God decide which way is right and listening to Him a little bit more stronger than what we do. But anyway, then we'll fill out the rest of these papers. So in doing that, in that realm of things, the other day on the KSK channel, I made these 2 books. This is a little one. And this is the one I'm going to use to do my notes on. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to pause you long enough to cut down the paper. This is, if you watched my channel, these are the coffee dyed papers and tea dyed papers that I made. Here we go. This was the green tea. This one was coffee. And this one was black tea. So I'm going to take roughly around 4 pages out of each one of them. I have 10 pages done. Roughly around 4 pages out of each one. And I'm going to cut them down to fit into this. And then I'm going to take a long arm stapler and staple the center of it here. And I need to stop you long enough to go out to the she shed, which I forgot. I've done made 2 trips out there today. I want to get a hole punch and a one of those little, they're eyelets that you can put in here. Then I'm just going to string a string and tie it together so that it will stay. Or I might make a hole and make a brad and then put a string, wrap a string around it. I'm not sure, but that's what I'll have to do in order to be able to finish this up. So while I've got you all on pause, I'm going to go ahead and cut these down to, let's see how big this is. This is almost 8 inches. So what I will do is cut the pages first. I'll cut them at 7.5 inches. Then I'll fold them in half and have them ready to put in the book when I come back. So, and then I'm going to take this one that I made out of a brown paper bag that looks like leather, and I'm going to cut it to where I can make me a little pocket out of it. And hopefully have enough left to make me a pen holder. Wish me luck. Alright guys, I'm going to put you on hold and go ahead and get this done, and I'll be back when we're going to put it together. Alright guys, I'm finally back. Took me a bit. You can see I got stuff everywhere. I come up with a different idea, but it's the same idea. I have 24 sheets of paper here. Well, 12 sheets of green tea. Excuse me. 4 sheets of green tea, 4 sheets of black tea, and 4 sheets of coffee. That's 12 sheets in total. When I fold them up, that'll be 24 sheets. I have an array of different sayings that I am going to peel off, and I will put on one on each page, and every week I'll read it, whatever that says, and see if I can tie that in with a word from God encouraging me to work on this book. So that's going to tie everything together. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to take these pages. These are the 4 green ones. I'll probably have to do them separate. So it'll take me a bit. I'll probably just fast forward through this. I'm not a person that can see at this point. Now guys, at this point, I may change after I do this one. The benefit in a junk journal, just to put stuff in, just to say you put stuff in. I like the concept that one lady has, she married a junk journal with a calendar. So you could just, go in, and on the days of the week, you could write whatever appointments or, something important, as a prayer to God, whatever you wanted to put in there. You could go ahead and put that in. And then you have 2 pages to put your pictures in, like I wanted to do. Put your picture memories. And I don't mean pictures you take off your phone and have developed or print on your computer. I mean, go get all these millions of things that are floating around all over the universe and put them all together and make you a set of papers. If you've seen a butterfly today, pull out your butterfly and put in it. I just seen my tadpoles out in the thing. I could cut me a picture of frog. It won't be long before they have their little legs. So whatever you're doing for that day, it was something that stopped you long enough. Could be something you've seen on YouTube. Something that you stopped long enough to pay attention to. Take you a little note on your daily to-do, and everybody, encourage everybody to have a daily to-do list or a daily want-to-do. You don't have to do, but a daily want-to-do list, because if you put it down on a piece of paper, or at least if I do, I'm a whole lot more likely to get that accomplished. I used to do that at work. Everything that I had when I went to work at 7 o'clock in the morning, everything that I had to do on that shift, I made sure that I wrote it down on a piece of paper. And then I methodically checked it off. Alright, so now there is my front cover. There is my book. Before I put this together though, I went out and I got, I only got one brad, so brad will be what I use. Okay, so on this side, I'm going to measure halfway down here. This is 10 3/4, which is going to be hard. 11 would have been 5 1/2, so it should be right at 5 3/8. I'm going to put it right here. Okay, so you take this thing, it's called a crocodile. This one is a, no it isn't, this is a corner chomper. Yep, this is a corner chomper. Guys, I'm going to put you back on pause unless I have a hole punch out. Alright guys, this is what I was after. Slide you back in place. This is called the Big Bite. Anyway, it is a crocodile, but it's huge. So what I'm going to do, step back. I think that one is too big. It needs to be the little one. Next one up. Yeah. Needs to be that one. Let me find my hole here. You see how easy that was to make that hole? Can you see the hole right there? See my finger underneath it? Okay, so now I'm going to put it down, and the same hole that I did, I can't even find the hole, there it is, the same hole that I did, I'm going to make another mark on this side. And if you're, you can't see it from up there, but if you're just press that on it a little bit, the little bite thing on it, put it out here, let me show you, that little bite thing, see it right there? See it come down? That you can mark, line up on your mark and have your hole in the right spot. And that's as easy. Look how thick that is. That's as easy as it is. Now we got to go all the way forward, and I got to look to see. I think it's that one. Get in there, Sam. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this little eyelet thing and I'm going to stick it through that hole if it's the right size. And it's not, it's going to have to be the bigger hole. Okay, let's pull this thing all the way back and put it to the back and make your hole a little bigger. Now let's see, does this fit in there? There we go. Now, let's turn it around. They look so small, I thought they were going to need the small ones. So now I have to find, this is just a little thing that turns down here on the bottom, to where you can find the see if this works, people. Put the pretty side to the outside, and then you take it and you lay it down on this look, guys, it worked. Look. Now you can put your string through there and hold your thing on there. Alright, I got another one somewhere. Here it is. See, I know I brought two out. I was going to do it with a brad, but hope that's it. Let's see. Aha! Look, guys, I got it. Both of them now have holes in them. See? Okay, now I can go on with the next part. And yes, I have all the tools. Yes, I do. You can do it the old way. You can get you a hole puncher, punch the hole, put it down in there and set it on something and smack it, and this thing will fall out where it's out there where you want it to be. I don't need to because I have all the tools. Alright, so the next thing we're going to do, we'll find the center, put this down in here, actually in the center. Then I'm going to take my long arm stapler and try to staple that right. I need to get my light down here where I can see. Right in that, let's see where that staple's at. And see, I missed it, so it's a good thing. It needs to be back. I need to do it from this side anyway. Is it back with that? No. It's right there on the edge. So let me stand up, see if that helps me any. To get it right there on the edge. There we go. Now just see if I can get two more of them. There we go. And the third one, whoo, bouncing. There we go. Now we have our book done. Now to make it where it will be able to be tied, I'm going to put this string in through here. And I'll probably, I know this is not the way other people would do it, but I'm just going to make a knot on this side. And cut it in half. Cut off the string first. And then cut this piece. Don't need to be that big. And then I'll cut this here. And I will put this through, tie it in a knot to the back again. Just because the people that's been doing this forever knows how to do it doesn't mean you shouldn't try to do it yourself. This might be too short a piece I left me here. Then when I'm done, I can pull these two out here and tie them in a bow. Should have left me a little bit longer string. And there we go. Now it'll be tied up. And then all you got to do is pull the string and it's opening up and ready for you to use. So now that that much is done, I've done used all my tools that I need to use. Now I'm going to kind of smooth this out a little bit so it will lay a little flatter. I'm going to take these stickers. I'm going to find the one that I really like the best for the front. Let's see. They're all religious type stickers. So let's do this one. It says fully known and fully loved. The reason that I want to use this one is because that's what I started my genealogy search for, was so that I could keep people in the background alive in the kids' future. Who they were, what stories they went through. This is a sticker, guys. I just got to get it off of here. I won't have you sit and watch me do all of them, but you'll have the concept. There we go. There she's coming. Okay. So what I'm going to do is put this one on the very front page so that I will remember that this is why I started doing genealogy in the first place, was to keep the people, i.e. Danny, who had gone before my kids were even old enough to know who he was, alive and incorporated in their life who he was, what he liked to do. Are you like him? Do you have somebody in your life that is like that? So now what I'm going to do is each page, I'm just going to find a sticker. It doesn't matter which one it is, but I'm going to find a sticker and put it on the pages. And then once a week, I'll sit down with this book, maybe when I'm doing my JLB channel, and I will look at the page, the one that's next in line. I'm not going to pick and choose. I'm just going to, whichever one is next in line, I will pick one of them and say, okay, this one says, out of my weakest moment, he knows a new beginning. He makes a new beginning. They use such kind of fonts that you can't read. So then my new beginning is, I am beginning to write a book about the family history tied in with American history. And with God's help, I'll be able to finish that before he calls me home. So then I can do that. And then the next week when I come back, the first thing I'll do is pull out the book, read the next one in line, and then put a little journal page down there on the bottom that says exactly what I'm feeling about this particular, nothing else. I don't have to think about it. All I gotta do is look at this sticker. It says be still. So once I read that sticker, what in my life am I not being still about? And work on being still about that. Maybe I'm upset at something that happened at Timmy's work. Maybe I'm upset at something that happened in the community. Maybe it's the world. That I have to turn over to God. So in this book, at this time, I can say, be still. Oh, he wants me to work on my book. I need to not worry about blah, 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 and worry about the book. So these are just going to be my prompts. I got these off of Temu, just my prompts of what I need to write in this journal. Instead of having to sit down in a journal and think of 10 million things that's going through your head, you only have to think about this. If you want to do something like this, let me know and I'll do a few more videos on it. If not, that will be our goal, to sit down before we do every JLB video and write a thing. There's 24 pages in here and there's 24 weeks left in the year. So that's what we'll do. When we come back next Thursday, I'll take this one and write. Next time I'll take this one and write. So I'm going to go through and I'm going to put all these stickers on. And I hope you enjoyed the video. I hope you try out this little journal. You don't have to order the stickers off of Temu. There's all kinds of religious stickers. You can make your own. You can buy them at Hobby Lobby or Walmart or whatever. Just get you some stickers, make you a book, and put them in there. This one says, my cup overflows. What in your life is really good? What did you give yourself a pat on the back that everything's good in your life today? So that's what I'm going to do, and I'll finish that up off camera, and we'll see you next Thursday for the new series in JLB. Talk to you later. Bye-bye.